The information I'm about to impart has rarely been acknowledged, much less circulated among the peoples. In fact, the only time I can recall seeing this information was in a $500 little printed out booklet that was done on somebody's Xerox machine, but they were fetching $500 for this information. And that was 40 years ago. Value what you're about to learn. It may seem like fiction, and in point of fact, I would never discuss it with anyone outside of you, this collection of my esteemed viewers. It's not something I would have a conversation with the postman or the Amazon delivery person. Even some occultists would say it was impossible to influence a group of people, let alone an entire organization or even a government/nation, as in the United States. There are occultists and there are occultists. The information I'm about to give, whilst rare and little discussed, is not new, but very ancient indeed. Certainly the magician priests of ancient times had access to it and applied it. My study of ancient sacred texts revealed that it was particularly true of the Sumerians and Egyptians. Occultists who disbelieve may do so because of the effort involved or because of its chaotic nature. For the reasoning goes that if mere individuals can influence entire organizations, then chaos would be the result. Society wouldn't be able to function. But this is a false rationale and also unrealistic. Organizations of every kind are always subject to some kind of outside influence or threat, even governments. If they disintegrate because of external pressure, then they deserve it. Religious fanatics and terrorists would not exploit such occult information because they believe it the work of the devil. In any event, they prefer tyranny, death, and destruction. And psychologically, the individual is disadvantaged by the mere thought of just himself up against so formidable an opposition. But it isn't formidable, it is only the thought of it that is. Conventional thinking has it that the individual can only influence his own circumstances. And that's not always certain. And that he has no way of influencing two or more people. The larger the number of people, the more unattainable the goal of influencing them, so goes the thinking. Occultists, like the rest of us, are limited by their thoughts and beliefs. Most of the occultists I know are not rich, and some are sick and infirm. They will boast about having attained such and such a degree in a prestigious lodge of esoteric teaching, and they may be very learned and knowledgeable, and some might have even written books. Then there are those occultists who are successful, rich, and healthy, but these are indeed in the minority. The information here will never pose any threat to society or organizations in general, for hardly anyone believes, which is a good thing. The infamous Satanist Anton LaVey would always say how good it was when others didn't believe. It always made his work so much easier. Whatever occultists may believe, the whole system of belief in things unseen rests on the premise that there are different levels or planes of existence which all coexist together. To describe this concept at its most basic level, I could say that there is the seen, visible, physical universe as plane number one, and the invisible, unseen universe, plane numero dos. This is an extreme simplification, but this booklet is not intended to be a manual of occultism. This presentation I'm presenting to you is to give you hard, practical, usable information in order to achieve a practical end result. What some were ready to pay hundreds of dollars for, you, my esteemed viewer, are going to receive completely in a short, concise manner in this video presentation, completely gratis. That's right. The only thing that's going to cost you is your time. The information here is, in fact, priceless, though. So even if I wanted to charge you a double cheeseburger, it just would be to my own detriment. Put it into practice and you will see why, this information. So we have plane number one, the physical, what we see and touch, and plane number two, what we cannot see and touch. Now understand this, one plane cannot do without the other. But how can we know that the invisible plane exists? Because all existence is dualistic. You can't have black without white. You can't have wealth without poverty. You can't have motion without stillness, and you can't have light without day. There can be no harmony without discord, no silence without noise, no laughter without tears, no love without hate, and no fulfillment without disappointment. To suggest that the physical is all that exists is to deny the duality we know exists elsewhere. Here is what the magicians of old believed, and what many of my readers may also recognize. You, the esteemed viewer, may also recognize this as well. And that is that the two planes interact and influence one another. That is the idea, or to be precise, law, on which all magic rests. Yes, magic with a K, occulted, hidden magic. Put it another way. What happens in the invisible influences the visible, and vice versa. Seasoned occultists, and now keep in mind, folks, occult just means hidden, okay? Seasoned occultists will recognize, those who study secret science will recognize the simplicity of my argument. For they will know that the invisible world, or plane, in truth, consists of many worlds and planes within itself, each influencing the other. Now, understand this. What you do in this world has an effect on the other, vice versa. I cannot prove this to you. You should actually find it self-evident. In fact, it's hardwired into our biogenetic vehicle when we're not doing right. There's always a little something to let us know. You are here, my esteemed viewer, witnessing this video presentation to learn one thing: how to secretly influence any group of people without their knowledge or even an awareness of your existence. If you're unknown to them, you want them to do your bidding. Joking. Now, this is not to do your bidding in any frivolous sense, i.e., you get them to do one thing one day, another thing the next. That would be impossible, actually. No, your purpose is to effect a change or to effect a certain course of action. You want them to pursue a different policy or change their attitude towards you to favor you instead of oppose. I'm going to take you through the various stages of this process, step by step. I'm going to try and explain it as simply as possible, not because you, the esteemed viewer, are dim, but because I want there to be no misunderstanding. Done correctly, these instructions are
Female, male,
dynamite.
baby, crow,
You will enjoy unimaginable secret power. That the individual is powerless is a lie, but is made a truth because everybody believes it. You are going to learn differently. So stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned for this new powerful video presentation series that will allow you to be a master of your hidden world and all of the surrounding worlds about you. Namaste, namaskaram.